do the different things.
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
I just started it. Let's go.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and perform for you an air brake check on a Bluebird. So first thing we do is we want to start the bus. I want to make sure that my air is all the way up to 120 to 140 psi, which is my governor's cutoff level.
Okay.
I've waited for the weight to start to go off. I'm going to go ahead and put my steering wheel where you can see the gauges. I'm going to let these gauges start building all the way up to 120 to 140 psi, again, which is my governor's cutoff level. That's a statement that you do want to say. I noticed that the needles are not moving, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them below the cut-in level so we can start building up our air pressure. Okay, we're below the cut-in level. The air compressor is kicked in, and we're going to start seeing the needles now starting to rise. And we're going to build that air all the way up to 120 to 140 psi, which is my governor's cutoff level. Let's wait just a moment, and then we're going to hear that sound, psst. And that is when our vehicle has reached its governor's cutoff level. Okay, do you hear that sound? That's the governor's cutoff level. So what I'm going to do now is three things. Off, run. I'm going to turn the vehicle to the run. And then I'm going to push in and release the brake. Okay? Our wheels are already chalked, so our bus is not going to move. So our bus is now resting on the chocks. We're looking at our air gauge, and I'm making sure that it stabilizes and I don't lose more than 2 psi once it stabilizes. It is now stabilized, so what I'm going to do now is put my foot on the brake, and I'm going to hold that down for 1 minute, and I'm making sure I don't lose more than, I don't want to lose more than 3 psi in that 1 minute. Notice how it's not moving. We want that. And again, I'm holding down the brake as if I was sitting at a stoplight. I'm holding down, putting that much pressure on there. It says 90 degrees, 90 pounds of pressure. It's pretty much as if you're sitting at a stoplight. What I'm going to do next is once I know that I don't lose more than 3 psi, I'm going to start fanning off the brakes, which is to step on and off the brakes to decrease the air pressure. And my lights and buzzers should come on with my low pressure warning signal at no less than 55 psi. I continue fanning off the brakes, looking for my parking brake to pop out at 20 to 45 psi. And we are now at 1 minute, and here we go. I'm going to take my foot off the brake, and I'm going to start fanning off the brakes. Notice how the pressure is decreasing. My low pressure warning signal comes on, and I'm going to continue fanning off the brakes, looking now for my parking brake to pop out at 20 to 45 psi. Okay, it is now popped out. I'm now going to restart my bus. And I am looking, I'm going to turn on high idle, which is already on. What I'm doing now is I'm looking to make sure that once it starts building, when this goes off, I'm going to start counting 45 seconds, because from 85 to 100, you want to make sure it builds in 45 seconds. And that is to make sure that the tanks and everything are holding that pressure. So as soon as this goes on, I'm going to start counting 1,000, 2, 1,000 up to 45 seconds. Okay, it's now gone off. So 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1000, 7 1000, 8 1000, 9 1000, 10 1000, 11 1000, 12 1000, 13 1000, 14 1000, 15 1000, 16 1000, 17 1000, 18 1000, 19 1000, 20 1000. The 1 1000 has now reached 100 psi. I'm going to continue watching this. And once it reaches its governor's cutoff level of 120 to 140 psi, I am then going to get the chocks, remove the chocks, and then I'll begin on my continue on with my air brake check. I've now reached my governor's cutoff level, 120 to 140 psi, and now I'm going to go ahead and get the chocks. I'll be right back. I'm now going to move forward because right now we're resting on the rear chalk and I'm unable to remove it. So I'm going to go ahead and close the door, let it bust and drive, and pull off the chalk there. Chocks have now been removed. What I'm going to do now is do a parking brake check. And I'm putting the bus into drive. I'm going to keep the parking brake engaged. And now I'm going to press on the accelerator, doing a tug test, making sure that the parking brake holds. There, bus did not move. What I'm going to do now is keep it in drive. I'm going to release the parking brake. And I'm going to drive forward at 5 miles an hour and get the wheel straight, and making sure the bus is not pulled to the right or to the left. And I'm now going to press on the brake, and the bus is not pulled to the right or to the left. And that is the end of our air brake check. End.